Right, so what exactly is the Euler's number? It is nothing but the number of numbers which are less than an co-primed given number. I'll take one small example. Let's take the number 6. Okay, now how many numbers are less than 6? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. इसमें से how many are co-prime with 6? Co-prime means having nothing common, no common factor except 1. Okay, so 1 it is. Then उसके बाद 2 और 3 तो खैर दोनों कॉमन है. 4 में भी एक टर्म कॉमन आएगा 2 का, एंड 5. So there are exactly 2 numbers which are less than 6 and co-prime to it. So basically Euler's number of 6 is equal to 2. We denote this by the Greek symbol phi, saying phi of 6 is equal to 2. Let's take one more example. I'll take the number 10. Okay, so numbers less than 10 and co-prime, I'll be having 1. 2 नहीं होगा, 2 और 10 के बीच में एक 2 कॉमन आएगा. Then 3, 4 और 10 के बीच में एक 2 कॉमन आएगा. 5 में एक 5 कॉमन आएगा. 6 में 2 कॉमन आएगा. Then 7. Then after that 8 में 2 कॉमन आएगा. 9, so 4. So I can say Euler's number of 10 is simply equal to 4. Also please notice that for prime numbers Euler's number will simply be equal to n minus 1. For example, let's take the prime number 5. Okay, 5 से पहले जितने भी नंबर होंगे 1, 2, 3, 4 are co-prime to it, right? So Euler's number of 5 is equal to 4. Okay, similarly Euler's number of 31 should be equal to 30. Euler's number of 27 should be equal to 26. No, it's not a prime number. So ज़रा ध्यान देना यहाँ पे. Alright, so for any prime number the Euler's number is equal to n minus 1. Alright, now it won't be very convenient to write down all the numbers which are less than a given term and then find कि कौन से co-prime है, right? So there's also like a logical way to find out the Euler's number for any given term. For example, let's take the number 24. Okay, the first step is to simply prime factorize. So this can be written as 2 cube into 3 raised to 1. Alright, now observe the prime factors 2 and 3. So basically Euler's number of 24 should be equal to 24 into 1 minus 1 by 2 this prime factor into 1 minus 1 by 3 this prime factor. So this will give me 24 into half into 2 by 3. So there are exactly 8 numbers which are less than and co-prime to 24. That is its Euler number. Alright, observe that for prime numbers, like for example you take 17, it will simply be equal to what? 17 raised to 1. So उसका Euler's number हो जाएगा 17 into 1 minus 1 by 17, which is nothing but 16. So that proves our point that for any prime number p, Euler's number is p minus 1. Alright, going on further, we'll look at some questions which are direct or indirect applications of the Euler's number. पहला वाला क्वेश्चन है, ये काफ़ी डायरेक्ट से एप्लीकेशन है Euler's number का. You can see it. How many numbers are less than 100 and not divisible by 2, 3 और 5? मतलब 100 से कम नंबर्स और 2, 3 और 5 से नॉन डिविजिबल, राइट? सो बेसिकली यू वांट नंबर्स लेस देन 100 एंड को-प्राइम विद 2, 3 एंड 5. मतलब आई वांट टू फाइंड आउट Euler's number of 100 with respect to 2, 3 and 5, right? Now there is a small problem to it. The problem is that 100 is not divisible by 3, isn't it? So हम एक काम करते हैं, we try to find out a number which is close to 100 and a common multiple of 2, 3 and 5. Basically take LCM of 2, 3 and 5, which is 30. So find out a multiple which is close to 100 and it's a multiple of 30. So 90 हो जाएगा. So try to find out Euler's number of 90 with respect to 2, 3 and 5. ये कितने हो जाएंगे? 90 into 1 minus 1 by half into 1 minus 1 by 3 into 1 minus 1 by 5. That gives you 90 into half into 2/3 into 4 by 5. So यहाँ से 2 2 चला गया, 3 5 15 चला गया, 6 it is 24. But the problem is that I have counted numbers only till 90, right? 90 और 100 के बीच में भी कुछ numbers होंगे, like 91. Then you have 92. Then you have 93. I'm just showing it to you right now. करना नहीं है, लिखना नहीं है. Okay. Now 91 is not divisible by 2, 3 और 5. So ये होगा 92 2 से divisible है तो ये नहीं होगा. 93 भी नहीं होगा. 94 भी नहीं होगा. 95, 96, 97 होगा यहाँ पे, right? And 98, 99 नहीं होंगे. So 24 and these two numbers, your answer will simply be 26. All right, let's move on to the next question. The HCF of two numbers is 11 and their sum is 165. Find how many pairs of such numbers exist. Okay, now you might have seen this concept in your numbers theory, basic numbers theory. If HCF of two numbers is H, the numbers can be written as HA and HB, where A and B are two coprimes. Like in this case, if your HCF is 11, I can say the numbers are 11A and 11B, right? It is now given that the sum is equal to 165, or basically A plus B should be equal to 15. Now, the property of A and B here is that they are co-prime numbers and the sum is coming out to be equal to 15. So now I want to find out in how many ways can I write 15 as a sum of two co-primes, isn't it? One way is to write down all the possible values 114 or 213 and check. The other approach would be that simply find out the Euler's number of 15, which will be 15 into 2 by 3 into 4 by 5. ये हो गया 8. So there are 8 numbers which are less than and co-prime with 15. उसका exact half कर दो. You will have exactly 4 values. Why? You can check. Let's take 1, 14, 2, 13, 4, 11, 7 and 8. यही 8 numbers होंगे ना 15 से कम एंड co-prime. तो अगर 8 वैल्यू आती है उनमें से exactly दो दो का पेयर हम बना सकते हैं, राइट? इसलिए 8 को मैंने अपॉन 2 कर दिया. The answer is 4. Let us understand how Euler basically works in case of remainders. I'll take a small example. Let's say you divide 13 by 5. What is the remainder you would get? 3. If you divide 13 square by 5, you can apply the remainders theorem, right? Whatever happens to the numbers, number is getting square. The same thing happens to the remainders. Remainder b square ho jayega. So it will be 3 square divided by 5 equals to 4. Okay, find out the remainder when you divide 13 cube by 5. The number is getting cube, तो remainder भी क्या हो जाएगा? Cube हो जाएगा. 3 cube is 27 divided by 5, the remainder is 2. Same thing 13 raised to 4 में अब क्या हो जाएगा? It will simply be 13 square into 13 square, right? 4 the 16, the remainder is 1. So you observe that remainder of 13 raised to 4 with 5 is equal to 1. I'll take one more example. Let's say you divide 10 by 7. 10 by 7, the remainder is 3. So 10 square will give you remainder 3 square 9 upon 7 will give you remainder 2. Likewise ऐसा करते 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 10 power 6 क्या remainder देगा अपने को? 3 raised to 6, right? Now 3 raised to 6 can be written as 27 times 27, which is nothing but this will be remainder 6. This will be remainder 6. 36 upon 7, the remainder is 1. So observe that remainder of 10 raised to 6 with respect to 7 will be equal to 1. Alright, so I can say when you divide by 5, the cyclicity of the number 5 is equal to 4, right? I mean, after every 4 powers, the remainder will repeat, isn't it? Same thing is happening for the number 7. Cyclicity is 6. After every 6 powers, the remainder is becoming 1, right? और basically यही होता है Euler's theorem यहाँ पे. Alright, in case of any particular number, any particular divisor, you find out its Euler number. And उसकी जितनी powers होंगी यहाँ पे ना, they will always give you remainder equal to 1. This is nothing but your Euler's theorem in case of remainders. Alright, people also call it the Fermat-Little theorem. एक ही चीज़ है, exact same thing चीज़ है. They also call it the Euler's quotient, the exact same thing. Alright, so remember, whenever you are trying to find out the remainder of a particular number with a divisor, okay, find out the Euler's number of the divisor, and in the power, okay, जितने भी multiple होंगे Euler's number के, they'll give you the remainder 1. This is the Euler's theorem. Okay, we'll now proceed in solving some few questions based on this concept. So let's see. Alright, the first question in discussion is find the remainder when 2 power 99 is divided by 7. Now you might as well use the regular remainder theorem to solve the question. काफ़ी easy होगा वैसे. Write this 2 raised to 99 as 2 cube raised to 33. 2 cube is 8. So 8 power 33 का remainder चाहिए 7 के साथ. Okay, the remainder is 1 power 33 equals to 1. This is when you apply the regular remainder theorem. You can also apply the Euler's concept in here. Okay, now 7 is a prime number, minus 1 is 6, right? In case of prime numbers, the Euler's number is n minus 1. So 6 की जितने multiple होंगे यहाँ पे, इन सबका remainder कितना हो जाएगा? 1 हो जाएगा. So basically, you write this as 2 raised to 96 into 2 raised to 3, right? Now 2 raised to 96, as per Euler's theorem, will give you remainder 1. What is left is 8. Again, 8 divided by 7 gives you remainder 1. You get the same answer, almost same like time लगेगा दोनों approach के लिए. It depends upon your personal preference now, what you prefer. Okay, let's move on to the next question. 27 raised to 302 and it is divided by 31. Now applying the Euler's theorem, Euler's number of 31 कितना हो जाएगा? 31 minus 1 30. अब 30 के जितने मल्टीपल्स होंगे ना इन पावर इस पावर में, दे विल ऑल सिंपली गिव यू रिमाइंडर 1 व्हेन डिवाइड बाय 31. ऑलराइट, सो 27 रेज टू 300 को अलग कर दिया मैंने एंड 27 स्क्वायर को अलग कर दिया मैंने. नाउ दिस ऑन डिवाइडिंग बाय 31 विल गिव यू रिमाइंडर 1. Euler's theorem. Alright, and this will be 27 square divided by 31. Now you might basically find out 27 square divided by 31. What I would prefer is using the concept of negative remainders. See, 31 से जब हम 27 को divide करेंगे, the remainder will be either 27 or minus 4, right? So minus 4 square is nothing but 16. That's your answer. S be the factorials of the first 8 whole numbers. Find the remainder when 5 raised to s is divided by 13. Alright. Let's pay attention to this first. 5 raised to s divided by 13. Now 13 is a prime number. उसका Euler's number basically क्या हो जाएगा? 12. So basically जितने भी 12 के multiple इसमें आएंगे ना, they will all give you remainder 1 when divided by 13, right? That is the whole concept behind it. Now it is given that s is equal to sum of the factorials of the first 8 whole numbers. So basically s is 0 factorial plus 1 factorial plus 2 factorial up to 7 factorial. This is a very common mistake that people make. They start counting with 1 factorial up till 8 factorial. No, the question specifically mentions whole numbers, right? So we have to focus specifically on 0, 1, 2 up to 7. Okay, so 12 के कितने मल्टीपल से हमको ये निकालना है ना. Now see, after 4 factorial, I mean at 4 factorial, the value is 24 जो कि 12 से divisible होगा. 5 factorial again is divisible by 12. So basically every term beyond 4 factorial and equal to that is divisible by 12, right? Okay, so हमें वो count नहीं करना है. Are you getting it? Or I would simply say this is 1. Okay, 1 factorial is 1. Okay, 2 factorial is 2. 3 factorial is 6. उसके बाद जो भी नंबर आएगा 4 factorial plus 5 factorial वो definitely 12 का मल्टीपल तो होगा ही होगा ना. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. और बेसिकली s is of the form 12k plus 10. Are we getting this? Alright. अब हमने अभी अभी क्या सीखा था कि हमें 12 के जितने भी पावर्स यहाँ पे होंगे they will 12 के जितने मल्टीपल्स होंगे पावर में they will always give you remainder 1, right? So I split s as 5 raised to 12k multiplied by 5 raised to 10 divided by 13 divided by 13. This as per Euler's theorem will be equal to 1. अब हमको सिर्फ इसका रिमाइंडर निकालना है. लेट्स सी हाउ आई डू इट. सो आई से ये 5 स्क्वायर रेज टू 5 है डिवाइड बाय 13. 5 स्क्वायर इज 25 डिवाइड बाय 13. द रिमाइंडर इज माइनस 1. माइनस 1 रेज टू 5 विल बी अगेन माइनस 1 प्लस 13 गिव्स यू द फाइनल रिमाइंडर 12. The next case is to understand where you cannot directly apply the Euler's number, where you have to think of something else, like in these questions. For example, find the remainder when 17 power 16 is divided by 64. Now, Euler's number of 64 will be nothing but 64 into 1 minus 1 by 2, which is 32, right? But यहाँ पे हमारी power exactly 32 से कम ही है. Are you understanding it? So wherever the power of the given particular number is less than the Euler's number, there you can't apply the Euler's theorem because it makes no sense, right? You want at least 32 cycles of 64 to be repeated, right? जबकि यहाँ पे 16 ही है. Alright. Now there might be different approaches to solve these questions. Like for this particular question, what I would prefer is I would apply the binomial expansion. I would write 17 as 1 plus 16 the whole raised to 16. Now we apply the formula for binomial theorem. First term will be 16c0 into 1 raised to 16 into 16 raised to 0 plus second term हो जाएगा 16c1 into 1 raised to 15 into 16 raised to 1. Alright. Next step is 16c2 into 1 raised to 14 into 16 square. बस यहाँ पे रुक जाते हैं हम लोग भाई. देखो, after all terms from 16 raised to 2 onwards, हर term 64 से divisible ही होगा, right? So उसके आगे अपनों को check ही नहीं करना है. Okay, the only remainder which you require will be given only from these numbers, right? So 16c0 is 1 into 1 into 1 plus 16c1 is 16. Okay. This will be 1 into 16. 16 is 256 plus 1 is 257. Okay, but your remainder can't exceed 64. So 257 को हम लोग वापस डिवाइड किससे करेंगे? 64 से. 64 4 is 256. No rocket science. Both are powers of 2 only. So your final remainder is 1.